Class, this podcast has to do with energy conversions and energy units. All right. So there's basically two ways we measure energy. In America, we're used to using calories, but most of the rest of the world uses the metric version of calories, and the metric version is known as the joule. And it's not quite spelled like we spell joules, but it's spelled like this. All right, it's named after a man. And the relationship between a calorie and a joule is this: 1 calorie equals 4.184 joules. All right. So again, 1 calorie equals 4.184 joules. That's something you're going to have to memorize, but know that relationship. All right. Another relationship you need to know is 1 big C calorie, all right, as opposed to a little c calorie. But 1 big C calorie, these are food calories. So whenever we say we have a 2,000 calorie diet, we are talking about a big C calorie. But a big C is really equal to 1,000 little c's. So again, in America, whenever we say we have a 2,000 calorie diet, we really are on a 2 million calorie diet if we're talking about calorie units that we use in chemistry or in science. Okay? And I think just the rationale for that was probably somebody in marketing who went, if people know they're eating that many things, they're going to stop eating and we're not going to sell our products. So again, a calorie is the same as 1,000 calories. And 1,000 calories, another way we could word that is just that's the same as 1 kilocalorie. All right, just like a kilometer has 1,000 meters in it, or a kilogram has 1,000 grams. A kilocalorie has 1,000 calories. All right. So anyways, those are the relationships. So we're just going to do a couple of these. These are pretty straightforward. It's simply fence and rail stuff because we're converting units. So if you had a question like this, 282 joules equal how many calories? All right. So just like always, we're going to start with what we know. So what we know is 282 joules. And we're going to do a little fence and rail. We're going to let our units be our guide. So joules can go in the denominator. And we're going to convert this to calories. And once you have your units here, we're simply going to put units in. So how many calories? 1 calorie is equal to 4.184 joules. So you know you divide if you want to go from joules to calories. And again, you don't have to memorize that. Simply start with what you know and let your units be your guide. So when we do this in our calculator, we're going to get a number such as 67.3996 calories. But because we now know about significant figures, if we look back at our beginning, our first number started with 3, so our answer should have 3. Again, why does this 1 calorie not count? It is a relationship, not a measurement. Okay, 1 calorie equals 4.184 joules. It's not measured, it is just a relationship. So our final answer is really going to be just 67.4 calories. All right, another way I can ask this question is we can start with calories and go to joules. So let's say we have 5,280 calories, little c, equals how many joules? So again, we're going to start with what we know, 5,280 calories. We're going to let our units be our guide. So we're going to have calories in the denominator and joules in the numerator. And what is that relationship? Well, that relationship is 4.184 joules equals 1 calorie. So in this case, we're going to multiply. So when we do that in our calculator, we get a pretty big number, 22,091.52 joules. And again, as far as significant figures go, if we go back and see what we started with, this number, 5,280, has 3 significant figures. Why is this last 0 not significant? Because there's not a decimal. All right. So we want to round our final answer to 3 sig figs. So we're going to stay with 22,000, and that 9 is going to round the 0 to a 1, and then we're just going to add zeros. Again, those zeros are not significant because they are trailing zeros, and trailing zeros don't count unless there is a decimal. So again, our answer would be 22,100 joules. All right, our last one, we're going to use our calories. So if we said, let's just go with a standard adult diet, it should consist of 2,200 calories per day. So notice the big C calorie. And again, we want to convert to joules. How many joules? So again, we're going to start with what we know. 2,200 big C calories. And the first thing we want to convert is calories, big C calories, to calories, little c calories. And we know that 1 big C calorie equals 1,000 little c calories. So if we stopped our math right now, we would have little c calories. We don't want little c calories, we want joules. So we're going to do one more fence post and go from calories to joules, and this relationship is 4.184 to 1. And we're going to simply multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom, which is just 1, and simplify. And in our calculator, we're going to get a number that's really big, to the tune of 9,204,800 joules. Right? And again, if we go back and we look at our sig figs, 2,200 calories has 2, so we're going to round our answer to 2. So we're really just going to have 9,200,000 joules. Right? So a 2,200 calorie diet, we're really consuming 9,200,000 joules of energy. And that would make sense if we lived in another country. Usually other countries, because joules are really so small, they usually measure this in kilojoules. So generally, if you lived in Germany and you're an adult and we're on a 2,200 calorie diet in America, you'd be on a 9,200 kilojoule diet overseas. And that is how we convert energy units between joules and calories.